Yes, quickly. Regular dogs, okay? Do you think they look at police dogs and think, oh, crap, it's the cops?
I mean, they got to, right? Right?
I've never seen
a normal dog interact with this dog. They look at him like
it's the cops.
Bad respect.
It's the cops.
It's the cops. The NFL suspends Calvin Ridley indefinitely, minimum of 1 year for gambling. Aaron Rodgers becomes the highest paid player in NFL history, supposedly. Russell Wilson makes a move to Denver. And of course, we'll make our picks. I'm Jake Crain, and welcome to Crain & Company. Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley was suspended by the NFL for at least 1 year yesterday after it was found out he was betting on NFL games. So he won't be available for the 2022 season. My stance on this whole situation is very simple. If you bet on your own team to win on the money line, or you bet on other teams, I don't really see the harm in that. For example, Pete Rose, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, is not allowed to be in the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team to win, which is an all-time travesty to me. Are we not all betting on ourselves anyway? People make the argument that's comparable to insider trading, but if that's the case, then why can family members of players, trainers, coaches, anyone in the organization be allowed to bet? Today's sports era is different. These leagues have made money hand over fist using sports gambling in all sorts of forms. And there should be certain rules on players betting, but not a total ban. We watched Ray Rice beat a girl up in an elevator for everybody in the world to see, and all he got was a 2-game suspension. Greg Hardy slammed a girl's arm on a toilet lid and got 10 games. Yet Calvin Ridley gets a whole year minimum. I feel like I'm in the upside down from Stranger Things. And we're going to see if Calvin Ridley can bounce back against all the odds. Bringing our co-host David Cohn here. It's always a tall order when you're dealing with him. My brother, the Dr. Seuss of hot takes, I guess you could say.
I'll accept that.
That's actually a compliment today. I know, I'm feeling a little genuine, generous as well.
Good.
Cohn, here's my thing. I can understand there's two logical arguments to both sides of this. And it is against the rules right now for NFL players to bet. So did Calvin Ridley break the rules? Yes. My argument is not with whether Calvin Ridley broke the rule. My argument is I think the rule, for lack of a better term, kind of sucks. Yeah. And I don't like arguing or complaining about something unless I have a solution, right? We talked about the officials having accountability, guys getting fined, maybe having somebody that does a press conference after that. My solution is this, kind of as I mentioned at the top of the show. You can bet on your team to win on the money line, because they have ways of monitoring it. How do you think they found out about Calvin Ridley? And don't think Calvin Ridley's the only NFL player betting on games. There's probably a ton of them. You come up with a fake email. There's ways people get around things. Not saying everybody does it, but I guarantee it's more than Calvin Ridley. Why is it wrong for you to bet on your team on the money line or bet on other teams? Because if you want to go into the insider trading situation, you can go down a whole list of rabbit holes to find that. Friends of friends, coming up with fake emails. It's going to happen. Some people will do what you tell them not to do. But sports is evolving. The money's evolving. You can talk about, Blaine, you said this earlier. You talk about integrity of the game. Look, I'm about sick of hearing Roger Goodell talk about integrity of the game. We know this is about money. We know it's 100% about money. Yeah. But why, in my opinion, can you not change the rule and say, if you want to bet on your team on the money line, and I want to hear what the Booster Club has to say about this. Okay. The Wired Chat, again, two separate parts of the Booster Club coming together to form the Mega Ranger, Power Ranger style. Kimberly was my first crush, the Pink Ranger. Shout out, Kimberly. I'm engaged now, but you know, it is what it is. Cohn, why can't there be a rule where you can bet on your team in the money line or other teams?
Actually, the first point I wanted to make was to say congratulations on your engagement, man. We hit #1 in sports on Friday.
You're peaking.
I'm peaking. Yourself a weekend, kid.
It's all downhill.
It's 100% all downhill.
It's 100% all downhill.
Now, to get to your point, I agree with what you said. I have no problem ethically with someone betting on a team they play for. I mean, all of us metaphorically bet on ourselves. So the logical extension of that to wager on a team you play for does not seem like a bridge too far. But the NFL and all sports organizations absolutely cannot allow this to happen, right? I mean, just think about it from a simple cost-benefit analysis. There's no upside, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the circumstance, because it just cracks that door for potential fixing or collusion type schemes. Now, to the 1-year ban on Calvin Ridley, it does seem excessive, especially when you examine the numbers you're talking about for domestic violence case. I mean, Tom Brady liked his football just a little bit deflated and he got 4 games. I mean, Ray Rice initially got 2 games. Before then, he never played.
Joe Mixon cold-cocked a girl in public and got the exact same amount of time.
So here's my thought on that. Maybe the 1-year suspension here is not what's excessive. It's those other situations are far too tolerant. Look,
I can see
I
that.
appreciate the NFL's pursuit of integrity. Lord knows we need more of it in society, okay? But the problem that I have is the definition of integrity is being wholly integrated. And it seems like the National Football League wants to pick and choose when integrity is or is not a fundamental value for them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do want to push back on this point. You said that it opens the door, it cracks the door for collusion. If you're going to fix games, which we haven't had a problem in the NFL, if you're going to bet on games, you're going to find a way to do it. Like, you're going to find, people will do what you tell them not to do. I don't think by saying, all right, well, if you want to bet on your team on the money line, we can monitor it, or you want to bet on other teams, that's fine. I think you would actually take some of the collusion out because you don't get the thrill of backdooring people on it. That's my thing. If people want to break the law, they're going to break the law. If they want to break the rule in the NFL, I'm not saying it's a law because there's legal places to bet. Obviously, here in Tennessee, we can bet legally on sports gamble. My biggest thing is I don't think it is the ultimate sin. Now, look, betting against your own team, or even saying, all right, I'm going to bet on my team -4, you can really affect that. Nobody, if you're losing, if you bet on your team, is going to be like, all right, I'm going to throw the game. Yeah, you're going to play as hard because you're trying to win. And I don't think you'd have other teams or other players calling each other up like, listen, hey, man, I put, $1 million on us money line against the Cowboys, calling up the Cowboys DB and be like, listen, man, let me roast you. These guys are too competitive. Nobody wants to get roasted on TV.
Would do that. Like, if you
think they would do that?
If you
I think you're out of your freaking mind.
If you open that door, people will find a way, whether it's throwing games, dropping a couple passes here and there, and you can just say money line, but what about prop bets?
No.
Are you going to allow
again,
prop bets?
I'll say it. You can bet on your team here. I'll say it again. You can bet on your team money line. Nothing else. Now, if you want to do props on another team, that's fine. Because I'm talking about the individual. That's what I'm saying. But my problem is, you really believe that players in the NFL that are getting paid a lot of money and have to play well to get their contract renewed would say, all right, you know what? I'm going to let you toast me 3 times. Eli Apple just gets toasted because he gets toasted. They're not calling him up like, Eli, listen, I'm going to run a vert late. I need to hit this prop bet. I'll give you half of it. These guys, number one, they're too competitive because it would already be happening. You would call up your boy and say, all right, man, listen, put $1 million on me catching a touchdown pass in the 4th quarter. I just called the DB from the Packers, and he said he's going to let me roast him. We're going to split it 3 ways. That wouldn't happen.
It's already happening right now.
No, I'm saying if it was going to happen, it would already be happening. I think that's an extreme example.
Way. If you open this door, if you go down this hole, there's no way of controlling it. There's no way. You can say, oh,
how did they catch Calvin Ridley?
There is no way that it will be able to get controlled at all. Calvin Ridley, I feel like it's different because he wasn't playing at the time. Like, he wasn't basically on a team. He was out for mental health, but it doesn't excuse it. If you open this door, there's no controlling it. People will throw games.
So you can control it now.
Well, you just saw someone bet $1,500 to get suspended for a whole year.
The only one?
The consequences right now, you saw that, and you're doing that right now. That makes you think twice about doing this. Well, it's like to say, are there steroids? Are there guys doing steroids in baseball?
Yes.
For sure. You're going to try to stop it. They do more in the NFL. It's a harder punishment in the NFL than it is baseball, for sure. But you're going to try to stop it. But there's no, obviously, I want to know how Calvin got caught. What was your email, Calvin? The real receiver, Calvin Ridley, at AtlantaFalcons@gmail.com.
It's me, Calvin Ridley, 12 at
Obviously,
Yahoo.
people are going to find a way, but I just don't think you can open this door.
Let me read you the NFL's rule on wagering,
read
and you tell me what would be the upside in allowing them, like you're saying here. So the NFL personnel are restricted or prohibited from engaging in the following gambling-related activities, regardless of whether such activities are legal. 1, betting on football. All NFL personnel are prohibited from placing, soliciting, or facilitating any bet, whether directly or indirectly through a third party or any NFL game, practice, or other event. This includes betting on a game outcome, statistics, score, performance of any individual participant, or any other kind of proposition bet on which wagering is offered.
Yes, he broke the rule. What I'm saying is this, and it doesn't always marry up like this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have optics, and sometimes you're really trying to solve a problem.
Okay.
Will you ever fix the problem of guys going to their boys and saying, bet this, or, hey, oh, boy's out, bet this? No, you're not going to fix that. You're not. But they do have a way of monitoring, obviously Blaine talked about with Calvin Ridley, of finding out if you yourself personally go do it. And that was so stupid by him. What I'm saying is, typically, human beings are less inclined to do something if it's not breaking a rule, if they want to break the rule. Does that make sense? So if you say, all right, you can bet on your team money line, or you can bet on other teams, I think you'd have some guys that say, all right, well, now I don't have to worry about breaking a rule that might get me in trouble in the NFL by going to a third party or something. Because if you sit here and say, all right, well, you can't do it, it's a total ban, guys are still going to be doing it. And if you're going to ban people because of insider trading, or stuff other people don't know, then trainers' families can't bet. You got to go all down the friends list of everybody. You'll never be able to stop it. That's why a lot of people have arguments about, should we be legal? If weed's legal, then you'll stop getting drug deals from people on the side in the street. It's apples and oranges, but it's the same line of thinking to me. I don't think it's as egregious, and this is my main point, if you bet on your team to win money line. You're doing that anyway, really. You're betting on yourself and betting on other teams. That is what it is. I don't think that rule is that big of a deal or really that bad. But I will go back, and I think we button up with this when we move on. There's a lot going on. If you bet on your team to lose, because I'm not saying a blanket in general, you can bet whatever. If you bet on your team to lose, or you bet on the point spread of your team, even if you're betting on the point spread to win, that's a big problem.
For life.
That's a ban for life. Pete Rose got banned for life from baseball for betting on his team to win.
That's not right.
That's ridiculous, in my opinion.
He should be.
And you know what? I guarantee you, when Pete Rose passes away, they say the outpouring is going to be so much they put him in the Hall of Fame.
Think so?
Which is BS, because he should get it when he's alive.
Yeah.
Calvin really just bet $1,500 on a parlay and lost $11 million.
Yeah.
That's one of the dumbest things.
Yeah.
That's the worst bet I've ever heard. Because he did break the rule.
And as someone who's trying to get their mental health right, to be able to come back and actually work for your employer, and this is what he's doing.
And then you're out there for Calvin Ridley, but right now, really, if you're Matt Ryan, right now, you just lost your leading receiver, right? Your career's coming. You're getting up there a little bit. Great career. If you're Matt Ryan, what are you thinking right now? Are you trying to get out of Atlanta?
Can't trust him. Well, I can't speak to that, but I know you can't trust Calvin Ridley.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's stay in the NFL and talk about some other quarterbacks here. The Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos have agreed to trade for Russell Wilson. Blaine, I think it involves sending 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, a 5th round, Drew Lock, and a couple other players in the washing machine.
No, so I said it was
Shelby Harrison, Noah Fant.
I said to me, the trade looks like him. And Blaine, I know the Booster Coach probably had about the gambling thing. But I think you got 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, a 5th rounder, a washing machine, Shelby Harris, and Noah Fant.
Okay, yes. So my question to you now, Russell Wilson still has to sign off on this and waive the no trade clause, and he has to pass a physical, all that kind of stuff. So as we enter 5 big questions here, I actually want to bifurcate this and ask 2. 1 is AFC West. Is this the greatest collection of quarterbacks in the country, which is, I know, is an easy answer for you. And 2, who wins this trade?
Yeah, in the country? How about it's the best division of quarterbacks the NFL's ever seen.
In the history?
In the history.
Even when Drew Brees and Tom Brady and Matt Ryan were in the NFC South. Because I think they overlap.
From a depth standpoint, you name 3. I'm about to name you the whole league. Mahomes, Derek Carr, Herbert, and Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it's valid. You got a 9-time Pro Bowler. I can go down this. Herbert has his ceiling so high, it looks like the top deck of the Titanic. That's how high this dude's ceiling is. To me, the AFC West is an absolute witch factory right now. I'm so excited to see the competition. I mean, when Derek Carr, listen, in the long run, I'd put Justin Herbert over Derek Carr. I think Justin Herbert's going to be a better player than Derek Carr.
I agree.
And Derek Carr's a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah.
This, to me, it's awesome for the NFL. It's awesome to watch. And I know the Broncos gave up a lot, but the Seahawks roster is so bad right now. It's so bad right now. And you look about that quarterback battle you're going to have brewing over there, nobody's impressed by that.
Geno Smith
And Drew Lock battling it out for the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
Fourth place.
Fantastic. The Broncos won this trade. And Jerry Jeudy, you talk about going from the outhouse to the penthouse. It was like, man, no Aaron Rodgers, we got Russell Wilson. Yes. And look, we'll get to Aaron in a second, but there's just no way I can look at this and not think that the Broncos won the trade. I know Noah Fant is a heck of a player. And anytime you give up 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, that's a lot. You better be getting a dog. But Russell Wilson is a dog. He's still got time. I think going to an offense to me, because if you look at the Seahawks, Pete Carroll's really kind of a run the ball, ground and pound a little bit type of guy. So when with him going to the Broncos, I think it's a good fit for Russell. Going to be a little colder in certain times. But if I'm a Broncos fan, to quote Jerry Jeudy on Twitter, oh, we lit.
Robbery.
Absolutely. John Dillinger?
Seahawks got robbed.
John
what
Dillinger?
Are you doing?
With all that they gave up? With all that they got?
What would you have done it
I
for?
don't know if I would even made this trade. What are you getting, Drew Lock? You might as well lock me in the pantry.
It's not the players. It's the picks.
It's the picks.
Not the players.
None of those picks are going to replace Russell Wilson.
Okay.
None of them.
You have to wait and see, though, right?
Okay.
This is what we said about the Raiders.
Was it a first round this year? Hold on. Was it a first round this year? Are any of the picks first rounds this year?
That's a good question.
Okay. If they are, what quarterback you get?
Discount double check.
I'll go get Matt Corral.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck.
I love Matt Corral.
But do you know the Seahawks, though, kind of fun fact here, have only drafted 3 Pro Bowlers, I think, in their last, 62 picks, and one of them was a punter?
No.
Dude, I forgot his name, but there's a punter at the combine who was absolutely hitting moon balloons, 70 to 80 yards. And, apparently he might be, the first punter ever taken in the first round.
Is it Ray Guy's son? Jay Guy?
Wait.
We'll look it up.
Jay Guy. Okay, but look, you can't call this trade a failure for Seattle until you see who they draft, right? You at least want to.
You better hit.
I don't think I'm not going to look at any unrealistic. Well, he's probably going to make the same impact Russell Wilson's going to make.
The Seahawks are one call away from him to call Bob the Builder to
I agree
that
with that.
roster.
It's look, Russell Wilson is one of the few human beings on the planet who is special at the quarterback position and has been all the way back to college, his entire NFL career, that whenever you can go get a special guy to play quarterback for you, you do it. So
franchise-changing type of guy. Now you have that guy that you can make a run with.
For sure.
That you can make a run
Instant contender.
And who they got over there? Like Melvin Gordon, right?
You've got Sutton.
Yep.
You've got Jeudy. I mean, you lost Fant over there, but they've got some pieces. Adding Russell is such a dynamic element, and he has experience winning. He's won a Super Bowl. He understands what it takes to get there.
Yep.
He's a great guy off the field. You don't have to worry about any problems with him off the field.
Class act.
So I'm excited to see how it works.
Now you go add to the offensive line in the draft. That's what you do.
For sure.
They're middle of the road. You go add to that, and they're a contender.
I agree. What's cooking over there, Blaine?
T-Pro83 says Russell Wilson is a system quarterback. If Denver goes to the church of number 3, which I don't know, then it can work. Wilson can't just plug and play in any system.
Go off on system QBs.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Go off on system QBs, please.
Here's
Listen to the man when he talks here.
Okay. When you watch Russell Wilson and you want to talk about a system QB, I feel like we throw that term around all the time. It's like when you use the term game manager. Mm-hmm. Of course he's a game manager.
Job.
That's his job, is to manage the game. Russell Wilson, he's a dual threat guy. Mm-hmm. He can sell the play action. He can throw on the run to the left and the right. He understands ball. He can read coverages like an I Spy book. So I don't buy the system quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't get. And look, Pete Carroll, if you want to talk about system, in my opinion, didn't utilize Russell Wilson to maximize his ability. Sure. It was kind of a safer outlook on how to play offense. You look at Hackett, a Tasket, Nathaniel Hackett will run it and throw it in a big fat basket.
Wow. There's so much
Chris Kirkpatrick?
Look.
And you know about realistic, look at the Seahawks offense. If they couldn't run the ball, it was Russell Wilson just running around in the pocket and somehow Tyler Lockett being down the field 60 yards and wide open.
Hey, if you're DK Metcalf, how quick are you packing your stuff up?
Yeah.
Man.
Oh my God.
Russell Wilson.
It's like Liam Neeson when they found out, another one of his family members.
Russell Wilson is a system QB. He makes any system he plays in better.
Yes, exactly.
Without any off-the-field baggage, and he has years of service left. He's a diamond in the rough.
But now, if you're Seattle, okay, no, you wouldn't do that.
You'll get
I was
Matt
thinking
Corral.
maybe you try to give some off to maybe put a first round and get a higher draft pick. I just don't know where the
Well,
first
I want to
round
see.
picks
Listen,
are.
the
I
way
don't
they
either.
can
I don't
mix
know where
and
the
match.
first round
I haven't
picks
seen
are.
it yet.
Whenever you do get picks, so there's ways you can mix and match. My thing is, if I'm Bill Belichick and I'm sitting over there, do I maybe call the Seahawks and say, hey, listen, what if I were to throw you a bone to get you over here to help Mac Jones a little bit?
You realistically look at the Broncos right now. I mean, you got Russell, right? You have Javonte Williams from North Carolina, who's a dog.
He's a dog.
You got Jerry
Him and Stone
Jeudy.
were both dogs.
You got a guy. You got Sutton
Cortland
and a
Sutton.
guy.
Yeah.
And who knows? I've been hearing some murmurs of maybe Gronk at Denver.
Whoa.
It's
Really?
Whoa.
Denver can be building
Whoa.
something that's kind of scary. You keep looking off in the distance, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
and
it's like
quicker
Sim
and quicker.
City. It's like you come back, you're like, wait a minute, what happened? We have a
Might be
library?
a team to watch out for.
All right, what else we got, Blaine?
Damager says Tom Brady was a game manager.
Fact. And he was the best at it.
Yeah, that's again. Game manager, like, if you find a quarterback that's not a game manager, you know what they call us? Wildcat quarterback.
Yeah, the thing is, he's not, you can't say he's only that. He was a game manager among
want my
many
quarterback
other
to be-
great
You
things.
got to put it on the line.
You got to put it on the line.
All right, we got a question here from Jaden Van Dyke, most underrated NBA player today and most overrated NBA player today.
Man, most underrated NBA player, I'm going to say Derek White right now.
Okay.
I'm going to say Derek White. What he's been able to do coming in, you got him, I believe, from the Spurs. I like the mix that he's added. I'm going to say Derek White, the most overrated right now. Say Karl Anthony Towns. Blaine.
Really?
Yeah, how about that? I'm just write that down. Put that.
Why do you think he's overrated?
Just Blaine's boy.
From a winning standpoint, I don't know if he's got the clutch gene. Oh, you won the 3-point contest. Great. I'm getting guarded the same right now as you were in the 3-point contest. His numbers have been really good lately. Just when the game's on the line, I go back to the college days at Kentucky. When the game's on the line, Karl Anthony kind of puts on that invisibility cloak. You've got to pull out a Hogwarts map to see his footsteps, to see where he's going. Like that's in my opinion.
What you, Dave? I mean,
I don't know what is overrated and underrated. Like, is DeMar DeRozan? Is he?
I would
is he
say underrated.
Is
I would
he?
say
Though? He
DeMar-
does get a lot of
Well,
press.
he's gotten a lot of
He gets a lot of PR though. I don't
he's
want
in
that
the
to be a
MVP
cheap
race.
shot, but I just
But
think
does he get enough PR?
that's the question. I mean,
Maybe
I
not in
think
the past.
Define the
Anthony Edwards
parameters.
is underrated.
okay.
You think Anthony, the number 1 overall pick?
Well, right now, like you don't hear him get talked about a lot.
like Chris Paul?
JJ
could be on that
Barea,
list? Is Chris
underrated.
Paul?
Underrated. Barea was the most underrated guys out there. If you're like
Okay.
We'll talk about Lil Witch.
6 foot and in the NBA,
Oh, I cheer
you're
for you.
disgusting.
If you're under 6'3" and in the NBA, I don't care who you're playing for. I root for you because you literally have unbelievable ability.
And for overrated, man, I'll say James Harden. Sorry, not going to apologize about it.
I'll never forgive you. It's
James Harden? Yeah.
like I say to Step Brothers, you don't say that.
No, he's great at putting the ball in the basket. Congratulations. I mean,
Well,
the
look
goals
what
to
the
win
Sixers
the game.
are doing now.
Gotta win the
Magic
game.
Johnson said they may win the whole thing.
Gotta-
Magic, got you, dog.
If Philly wins it all, you're just going to rock.
Oh,
I
you'll never
believe
hear that.
I
If
saw
Gonzaga
Philly-
loses, but if Gonzaga doesn't make it to the Sweet 16, or excuse me, doesn't make it past the Sweet 16, because that was my tweet. I don't think they're making it past the Sweet 16. And then all of a sudden the Sixers, when they made championship, I'm gonna be hell.
You're going to hear plenty from me.
I'm gonna
on
be hell on
Gonzaga,
here.
during the pick set.
Yeah, you already heard about, Mosman.
You want to get to Aaron Rodgers?
Let's get to it.
Okay, look, reports are breaking that Aaron Rodgers will stay with the Green Bay Packers and become the highest paid player in NFL history, maybe $200 million over 4 years. My question for you is, will this result in a Super Bowl win?
You see the odds, they've gone up. It's just hard. It's hard. And Devontae Adams
got franchise.
got
tag.
franchise tagged as well. Keeping that combination, they're always going to be in the running, but I just don't think the Packers have enough. I don't think they have enough as a complete team. I know the offensive line pass protected a lot better last year than what people thought. Defense played a lot better at the end. Special teams, I know they brought in a new guy. I just don't think the Packers have enough. I think they're going to keep getting, to the edge of the cliff, but they're not going to be able to jump off in the squirrel suit and fly to
The
a
Packers,
Super Bowl championship.
man, I just don't get it. They're one of those teams. It's like the Cowboys almost. They just find a way to mess it up.
Well,
They
but
find a way to
listen.
mess it up. They get to a certain point, and you go back to the game last year. They're up, 10-0? or 10-3. I believe it was 10-0.
You scored 10.
And they got a field goal blocked.
That's 13.
And then got a punt blocked.
Yep.
And lost the game.
Yeah.
You guys find a way in the Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys are just the Cowboys. They find a way to screw it up. But I think another Super Bowl win, I don't think so. But did Aaron Rodgers deserve that money? You're damn right he did.
That I agree with. I mean, Matt Ryan was getting, 48? The guys in the commentating booth are getting 20. Like, I don't disagree. All I'm saying to you is, how much money now do you have to go field a competitive team?
You don't. $153 million guaranteed. All right, you got paid. Devontae got franchise tag.
Really
y'all better go. Listen, if I'm paying you that type of money, y'all better go score 30 a game.
By yourself.
You better go score 30.
A salary cap's made up. Let's be real. It's all made.
No, it's not. This isn't baseball. It's not where they.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean?
Well, the thing about it is, like, they can still, like, if he's making $200, it doesn't mean he's just making all that money, way more money than everybody. Like, you're salary-wise, right? They can still go.
You mean they can
still go get guys.
According to reports,
out over time.
According to reports, that's what McAfee said, and even Aaron Rodgers came out on Twitter and said that those numbers aren't right. We'll see, but if they are right, he's going to be the highest paid player in NFL history until the next big quarterback contract because it keeps going up. So let's not act like it doesn't affect the cap space. So to You're getting paid your money. That's your win because you're not getting any Super Bowl wins, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. What we got next, Cone?
All right, next up here, got a question for you. All right, so Russell Westbrook is upset with fans chanting and calling him Russell Westbrick. Okay? How should players engage with taunting fans?
How about you? When did we go from, hey, don't worry about what the fans say, be a professional, to now all these players crying about the fans? Ben Simmons, and listen, I know mental health is serious. I get it. Believe me, it's affected our family too. But Ben Simmons, the fans are too mean to me. They're too mean to me. He still hadn't played in Brooklyn. It's amazing. All of a sudden your back hurts. Wow, I think your feelings keep getting hurt. You think you caught hell in Philly? Go to Brooklyn. They're not a lot.
I thought we were talking about Russell Westbrook.
No, we are. But I just want.
How did it just get to Ben? As an example. It just immediately came to me and started talking about Ben.
I'm using it as an example because you're seeing a lot more players care about what the fans think. You don't want to be called Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook? How about you make a shot?
Yeah.
How about you make some shot? These guys are getting paid so much money, and y'all care about what the fans think? You see LeBron talking about what the fans saying. Go play the game. Mm-hmm. Fans are going to say, that's why fans, guess what? Those same fans that are saying that paid for that ticket. Mm-hmm. Those same fans bought those hot dogs. Yep. So my thing is, when did we go from players, hey, you shouldn't worry about the fans, getting told when you're going up, opposing fans, fans at home, and I'll make this point, and we talked about this a little bit the other day. You don't see that from the young crop of these NBA guys. That's why I love them. This new young crop of NBA, in my opinion, may help save it. They may help save it because they're about ball. John Morant, they're about ball. I can go down the list.
Jason Tatum,
they're about ball. They're not about all this drama. Oh, the fans are mean to me. Mom, they're saying that I can't shoot the ball or I disappeared in the playoffs. So I'm Russell Westbrook. Man, be quiet and go play.
Well, be quiet and go play. He didn't care about the names. He didn't care about the names. He was getting all the triple doubles.
That's amazing,
Mr. Triple Double. You love that name, but now you're out here building neighborhoods with all the bricks you're shooting. You're getting called Mr. Westbrook. Play better, dog. At the end of the day, and now you know what you did. Now you just open the door.
Oh, they're gonna
everywhere you go play. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Everywhere on the road. Y'all got 13 road games left. All right, they have 19 games. Y'all got 13 road.
You think it was
it's
bad
gonna be Westbrook after every shot.
You will see. Follow the Westbrook Road. Follow the Westbrook Road. You'll keep doing that. You'll end up as the Lollipop Guild before it's said and done because you opened up Pandora's box.
The last few years, I've been shocked at how many fans are getting kicked out of games for like what they're saying. I mean, look, whether someone's coming to root for you or root against you, they paid you to come see you. They paid money.
Well,
don't be upset with these fans.
When did we make this transition?
I know.
Now I care about what the fans say.
I know.
When has that ever look? And again, like Blaine said, it's a great point. You think it was bad? After you just said that,
showed him you care.
Oh, you showed him you care.
They matter. Like that.
You showed them they can affect you. That's the thing.
Coming out of the woodwork.
They will be handing out those brick signs you see. It'll like Blaine said, you could build a neighborhood with how many Westbrook chants you're going to hear. Anything in the Booster Club?
Yeah, we got a question here we got actually a lot of people saying here, Russ needs to change his game. He quit shooting too many threes in mid-range. He's got to get to the basket.
He's got to start playing defense, but the dude's not a spot-up shooter. That's not what he is.
Kind of go back to a little bit to the NFL. 46 was a fix. He's got a question. Should the Cowboys get a new quarterback, and if so, who should it be?
Part of me wants to.
Let's dive down this road. Let's dive down.
Like this is Blaine's fastball.
Anything with the Cowboys is just hilarious to me.
To me, Dak. You know what Dak Prescott's like?
Tell me.
He's like when you go, like for me, all right, if I go eat some lasagna that's good,
God, I love it.
It's good, but it's not like my grandmother's lasagna. It's just a good lasagna. But nothing will ever touch the greatness of the lasagna my grandmother made. I think Dak Prescott is just good lasagna.
Yeah, he's a good NFL
He's
quarterback.
not. You got to have everybody around you
better than him. Yes. Could they do worse than him? Absolutely. And so the risk you run is, I mean, it's a lot greater chance that you would get a worse quarterback than Dak Prescott than a better one because there's only so many elite guys. Yeah. But yes, you could do much better than Dak Prescott.
If you had to replace him, all right. If you had to replace him, right now, who would you go get?
Just go get anyone randomly?
Well, that's
Tom Brady.
Somewhat available. Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Well, those guys aren't even on the same level.
Not even on the same level.
No. Deshaun Watson is up here.
Okay, so him and Dak aren't even on the same level.
To me.
Wow.
What do you say?
I think I mean Dak.
I agree, but I mean, and we got kind of.
Why did you look at Cullen like that was such a crazy?
No. I love the take.
I mean, I think Deshaun Watson.
I love the take.
Deshaun Watson.
Crazy. He looked at him like there was a Dementor behind him.
Deshaun Watson could go be up on that Russell Wilson.
Calvin Ridley got suspended for a year. I mean, Deshaun Watson got accused by 22 girls of sexual assault and hadn't been suspended yet.
Well, he's not in the league. I mean, he's
well, yeah, I know. He's not in the league.
Stop. That situation really rubs Jake the wrong way.
It does.
Oh, no. See what you
I'm massaging my ego right now.
All right, we got a question from Smokey the Ball. Which SEC team will be the biggest surprise in football next season?
The biggest surprise.
I know what he's going to say.
The biggest surprise.
Kentucky. I thought he was going to go A&M.
A&M wouldn't be a surprise to me. They've been on the way up.
I mean, what are we really designating as?
I'm saying I think Kentucky's.
Kentucky had a great season.
I think Kentucky's going to finish second.
How about LSU, man? How about LSU?
I wouldn't be shocked with LSU.
LSU could come strong first year under Brian.
What about Billy Napier and the boys?
Nah, roster's not there yet. No, I love to hire Billy. Chill Bill. I love Billy, but that roster needs time. Now AR-15 is Anthony Richardson is a 100% beast. But Kentucky, Will Levis, putting mayonnaise in his coffee, eating banana peels, got a little crazy to him. I like what they do up front. Mark Stoops, they're tough, they're physical. I know Wandell, the Lexington Witch is gone, but I like Kentucky. Tennessee with Josh Heupel. I got to see what the NCAA does. But Josh Heupel now I do think Georgia repeats. I do think.
You do think so? And
you're
calling that already?
East, for sure.
Oh! I thought you meant national.
No.
I was like, whoa!
No, we're not opening that.
Breaking news.
No.
And more at 6.
I'm gonna say Kentucky.
Let's stay with Georgia for a minute.
Okay.
UGA basketball is parting ways with Tom Crain. Who will take his place?
If they're smart, I make Rick Pitino tell me no.
What a hire!
I've been saying.
Wow, you go get Rick.
I make Rick Pitino tell me no, or I make Greg Sankey call me and say you can't hire him. You can't do it. Okay, you can't do it. But I literally make Rick Pitino say no. I know it's came out Andy Enfield from USC.
That's who I like.
Yeah. You like Andy Enfield from USC?
Yeah, for sure.
Steve Forbes from Wake Forest is another guy they talked about. Anybody be better than Tom Crean. This right here could coach at Georgia be better than Tom Crean.
Oh, don't let me.
You talk about overrated. Once D. Wade got out of there, listen, Tom Crean, you go eat at the Harbaughs enough, you end up freaking out. But he's married to Harbaugh's daughter.
I guarantee you, he could almost just go to the football team and give me 5 or 6 guys. Because I guarantee you there's guys on that team
you got to start
could probably ball.
Well, listen. Right now, it blows my mind. There's 2 things that blow my mind in college athletics. Well, there's a lot of things, but 2 things, like places. How Texas doesn't win 10 games every year in football, and Georgia is not an elite basketball program. And people say, all right, well, you got Bruce Pearl and all these people coming in and take talent out of Georgia. If you don't fix that, it doesn't matter. Now you got Jonas Hayes, who's associate head coach at Xavier. Watch out for that guy. All right, you got Gates, who's at Cleveland State, who did just get put out by Wright State. 4-seed Wright State ran Cleveland State out of the gym last night. But there's some names. If Georgia gets the right guy that can keep the guys, you're not going to stop Bruce Pearl right now. You're not going to stop him. But you've got to chip into it a little bit. And Georgia, you want to talk about the SEC is the best college basketball conference in the country right now. I don't care what anybody says. They say ifs and buts and candy or nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Better than the Big Ten.
Better than the Big Ten. Better than the Big Ten. Better than the Big 12. Saw it in the challenge. ACC is weaker than Branchwater right now.
Bad.
So if Georgia goes and gets a dog, because you better get one. You look around the league now. You better get one because it's just crawling with really good coaches.
Yeah.
Crawling with really good coaches. All right. One more.
All right. One more here. This was actually a member question left over from our mailbag, okay? The Tampa Bay Lightning head coach John Cooper was ejected last week in a game against the Penguins. Was this warranted?
I watched it. I didn't think it was that bad. Now, he's the first coach to get ejected since 2018. I think the coach at San Jose got ejected in 2018. I watched the video. I don't think it was that bad. And I don't want to go into the diatribe now about hockey referees. I'll do it. I'll go down the list. But I watched it over and over and over again, and I know he was jawing at him. And then he turned around and he said, "I'm not listening." Is basically what I saw him say. I'm done listening to it. Then the guy skates over there like Christy Yamaguchi to be like, "Hey, I'm going to throw this guy out." And then he throws him out. So I thought it was unwarranted that they threw him out.
Sometimes,
in my opinion, if you throw a coach out, they should have to walk on the ice in tennis shoes to the other side and see if they can make it.
Sometimes we see this in college basketball. Sometimes coaches want to do this to create momentum or to change
or get
momentum.
teed up.
It clearly didn't work in this situation because the Penguins won 5-1.
Yeah, they waddled their way to a big win.
Shout out Hurley Brothers.
Definitely. All right, one more from the Booster Club lane, and then we are going to kick.
Okay, you want one more? Because I got two good ones.
All right, make them fast.
All right.
Rapid fire.
Kyle Jenkins, will the Steelers need / will they jump for a quarterback in the first round this year?
If they're smart, they'll go get Malik Willis. Do it now.
Hudson Little, who will or who should the Colts go after for QB?
Running out of options.
Kenny, build the fence Pickett. I love Kenny.
Okay, I don't hate that. And everybody say, "Oh, his hands are small. Oh, his hands are small." Get out of here, man.
Yeah,
We've seen people say, "Oh, this guy's hands are too small," and then he goes and balls. Guess what? Your hand's big enough to. I know Kenny Two Gloves. All right, Kenny Two Gloves. You saw him at Pitt.
I was gonna say that.
You got Kenny Two Gloves.
You got a small ball. And you have the biggest hands.
This is a regulation-sized ball. But look, go get Kenny Pickett. He's got some witch in him, but he can't fake slide anymore. So
but what a genius, though.
He changed the game of football.
That changed the game of football.
You're really thinking next level.
He changed the game of football.
You're thinking next level. All right, everybody, make sure you go check us out at thedailywire.com. Shout out to the Booster Club as usual. Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're going to kick over there right now for Booster Club questions and our picks. The Booster Club was super, super duper hot. But first, I have some extremely exciting news. The Daily Wire is adding even more content to your queue, and we can't wait to share it with you. So mark your calendars for March 10th. The premiere of our latest film, The Hyperions. It doesn't have some underlying political message. It's just an excellent film. Because like this show, when it comes to entertainment, that's really all that matters. Check out the trailer now. Don't miss it.
Good day, Hyperion Club members.
We've come for one thing. Our Titan badges.
This Titan badge can grant an individual superhuman power. Perhaps it's time for someone else to take on the responsibility.
On my way.
She's trying to destroy me.
The Hyperions is a dysfunctional family film with throwback vibes. It's 100% worth the stream, I promise you. We'll be streaming it once on March 10th for all of YouTube to see. This is the last time we'll be premiering a movie on YouTube, so be sure to head over to the Daily Wire YouTube channel and set a reminder for the live showing. But after that, you've got to be a member to get in on the action, so head to thedailywire.com/subscribe so you don't miss any more of the growing cachet of content we have to offer. Remember, if you want to watch the rest of the show, and I know deep down you want to, you need to head over to the Daily Wire, become a member. If you do, you get to submit your questions on Mailbag Mondays. Don't forget that. So become a member, go to our show page, click on that little airplane to submit your question. Also listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review. You know you want to as well, and share it with your friends. We hit number 1, and we want to stay there. We'll be right back with more Booster Club, the picks, and maybe a little beyond the game. Check us soon.